In the world of farming, the most legendary tractors were not the most powerful or the most complicated, but the machines so reliable that entire nations put their trust and their future in them. Behind every one of the 7 best-selling models lies a story of economic upheaval, groundbreaking design, or ruthless price wars. A single price cut or a simple row crop adjustment could ignite an agricultural revolution and reshape rural life forever. What made these 7 tractors unstoppable? And why did millions of farmers around the world choose them above all others? The answer begins where scale, invention, and everyday necessity collided, launching an era of mass production that changed farming history. In 1917, Henry Ford set out to do for agriculture what he had already done for the automobile. The Fordson Model F rolled off assembly lines in Dearborn, Michigan, as the world's first truly mass-produced tractor. Ford's goal was simple: build a machine so affordable and reliable that it could replace horses on small and medium farms across America and beyond. By borrowing the assembly line techniques perfected on the Model T, Ford drove the cost of tractor production lower than anyone had thought possible. At launch, a Fordson sold for about $750, a hefty sum for a farmer, but already undercutting many rivals. As the post-war farm depression took hold in the early 1920s, Ford pressed even further. In February 1922, he slashed the advertised price of the Fordson Model F to just $395. This single move triggered what the farm press called the tractor price war, forcing every major manufacturer to react or risk being left behind. The Fordson's design focused on simplicity and ruggedness. Its 4-cylinder engine could run on gasoline or kerosene, and the worm gear final drive was basic but reliable. The tractor was compact, small enough for one person to handle, but strong enough to pull a 2-bottom plow. Ford targeted the millions of farms still relying on horses, promising that one machine could prepare more ground, faster, and with less labor. By 1921, there were 160 tractor makers in the United States. But Ford's price cuts and relentless production scale quickly thinned the field. In that year alone, Ford sold 67,000 Fordsons, about a third of all tractors purchased in the country. If you're enjoying this documentary so far, feel free to subscribe. It helps us bring you more rare machine history. Competitors struggled to keep up with Ford's economies of scale, and many either merged or closed their doors as the decade wore on. The impact stretched far beyond American borders. Ford built Fordsons in Cork, Ireland, and shipped them across Europe and into the Soviet Union, where they became a symbol of mechanized progress. By the end of production in 1928, nearly 755,000 Fordson Model F tractors had been built, about 748,000 in the United States, and over 7,500 in Ireland. For countless farmers, the Fordson was the first tractor they ever owned. Its no-frills construction meant repairs could be handled in a barn with basic tools, and parts were easy to find thanks to Ford's growing dealer network. The Model F's runaway success set a new baseline for the industry. Tractors had to be affordable, reliable, and easy to maintain. Henry Ford's gamble on mass production and aggressive pricing did not just win a market. It redefined what farmers expected from their machines and what manufacturers would have to deliver for decades to come. In 1939, International Harvester introduced the Farmall H, a tractor designed for the realities of American row crop farming. It was not just another all-purpose workhorse. It was built to match the geometry of corn and cotton fields that stretched for miles across the Midwest and the South. The Farmall H was designed to be simple, rugged, and easy to maintain. The Farmall H featured a narrow, tricycle-style front end and rear wheels that could slide in and out over a wide range. This adjustability let farmers set the tread to straddle the standard 38-inch or 40-inch corn rows, keeping wheels off fragile young plants while cultivating 2 rows at a time. The high stance provided ample clearance for growing crops and for even taller varieties. International Harvester offered the HV high crop version, raising the chassis over 30 inches above the ground. Adjustability was central to its appeal. Under the hood, the H carried a 4-cylinder gasoline or distillate engine in the 2 plow class, enough to pull a pair of bottoms in most soils or power a 2-row cultivator through the heat of summer. Hydraulic lift came standard, allowing quick, effortless adjustment of mounted implements with a single lever. That hydraulic lift was a meaningful advance over the manual lifts and clumsy mechanical linkages of earlier machines. Power and simplicity mattered. The modular design made it easy for dealers to swap parts or add new attachments, keeping the tractor adaptable as farm needs changed. That dealer support and parts availability helped keep downtime low and repairs straightforward. Modular construction kept farms moving. The Farmall H became a fixture on mid-sized family farms, where it handled a full season's work, plowing in spring, cultivating corn and cotton in summer, mowing hay and powering shellers or grinders from its belt pulley in the fall. Its versatility made it a favorite for farmers managing around 100 acres or more of tilled land. Versatility defined its use on diverse farms. When World War II erupted, American agriculture faced a labor squeeze as young men left for the military. The government classified tractors like the Farmall H as essential for food production, giving International Harvester priority access to steel and labor. With nearly 100,000 workers in 17 plants, International Harvester's sales soared by more than $100 million a year during the war. Dealers took orders months in advance, and the Farmall works ran at capacity to keep up with demand. Wartime demand accelerated production. Between 1939 and 1953, International Harvester built approximately 391,000 Farmall H tractors. The combination of crop-specific geometry, practical power, and wartime necessity cemented the H's place in rural America. Even as larger tractors arrived, the H often remained on the farm as a second machine, a testament to its reliability and the trust it earned from a generation of growers. In 1947, Ford introduced the 8N, a tractor designed with the small family farm in mind. Over its 5-year production run, roughly 524,000 units left the Dearborn factory, making the 8N one of the most widely sold tractors in American history. The appeal was not just in its price or power, but in the way it made tractor operation more approachable for everyday farmers. The 8N arrived with a 4-speed gearbox, a step up from its predecessors, allowing smoother shifts and easier control in the field. For many owners, this meant less grinding of gears and more precise handling during jobs like plowing, mowing, or hauling. The new transmission, paired with a reliable gasoline engine in the mid-20 horsepower range, offered enough muscle for most chores without overwhelming the operator. This smoother shifting made a real difference in daily work. Ford's dealer network played a crucial role in the 8N's success. With parts and service available in nearly every farming community, breakdowns rarely meant long delays. Farmers could count on getting a replacement part within days, sometimes even hours, thanks to the reach of Ford's automotive distribution system. This local support and easy access to parts made the 8N a practical choice for those who needed a machine they could keep running with basic tools and local help. Dealer support was a major selling point. Operator comfort and ease of use were at the forefront. Controls were laid out logically, with levers and pedals positioned for intuitive access. The 8N's light steering and manageable size made it possible for a single person, often the farm owner or a family member, to tackle a full day's work without the fatigue common in larger, heavier machines. The emphasis on simple controls and operator comfort helped the 8N fit into daily farm life. As the 8N spread across rural America, it became a Sunday fixture on 20 to 80-acre farms, handling everything from tillage to haying. Its blend of affordable refinement, user-friendly controls, and unmatched dealer support set a new standard for small tractors, paving the way for the next leap in implement technology. Harry Ferguson's vision for the modern tractor was never about brute force alone. Instead, his TE20 was built in Coventry from 1946 to 1956, and it set out to solve a different problem: how to make the tractor and its implements work as a seamless unit. At the heart of this approach was the 3-point hitch, a system that transformed daily field work for farmers across continents. Before the TE20, attaching a plow or cultivator was often a struggle, with heavy iron implements bolted to the frame or dragged behind on chains. Ferguson's hitch changed all of that. By connecting the implement at 3 points and linking it to a hydraulic system with draft sensing, the TE20 allowed the tractor to automatically adjust the depth of a plow. Soil conditions changed. If the plow hit a hard patch, the hydraulics would lift it slightly, reducing wheel slip and operator fatigue. For the first time, a small tractor could pull a full-sized plow efficiently, making the most of its modest horsepower. This breakthrough in implement control made the TE20 more than just a machine. It became a system. Farmers found they could swap between plows, mowers, and cultivators in minutes, using a single lever to control depth and lift. The simplicity of the Ferguson system meant that even less experienced operators could achieve professional results, and the risk of damaging equipment or crops dropped sharply. The TE20's impact was not limited to Britain. Over 500,000 units left the Banner Lane factory, with thousands more built under license around the world. From the green hills of New Zealand to the wheat fields of Scandinavia and the savannas of Africa, the little gray Fergie became a fixture. Export programs and government schemes adopted the TE20 as the backbone of rural development, and its hitch system set the pattern for nearly every tractor that followed. By treating the tractor and its implements as a single working system, Ferguson's TE20 made mechanized farming more accessible, more efficient, and more reliable for millions. The three-point hitch, once a radical idea, is now an industry standard, a testament to the power of system thinking in agricultural design. In 1956, Massey Ferguson launched the 35, a tractor designed for global reach at a moment when farming was undergoing rapid change. At its core was the Perkins three-cylinder diesel engine, a power plant that quickly earned a reputation for fuel economy and long life. For farmers used to gasoline engines that drank fuel by the gallon, the Perkins diesel offered a new standard: more acres covered per tank, fewer breakdowns, and a simple design that could be serviced in remote areas with basic tools. The Massey Ferguson 35 was never just a British product. Company executives recognized early on that the real market was worldwide. They set up licensing and assembly agreements in countries as varied as Yugoslavia, India, and Kenya, supplying both finished tractors and kits for local assembly. This strategy allowed the Massey Ferguson 35 to adapt to local conditions, different fuels, implements, and farming practices without losing the reliability that made it popular in its home market. By the early 1960s, the tractor or its licensed siblings could be found plowing wheat in Australia, hauling cane in Africa, and working rice paddies in South Asia. Sales figures for the Massey Ferguson 35 are the subject of ongoing debate. Massey Ferguson's own publicity has often claimed that over 1 million units were sold worldwide, but audited production records from the Banner Lane factory in England put the number closer to 388,000 for the original run from 1956 to 1964. When licensed production and closely related derivatives are included, from IMT in Yugoslavia to AFE in India, the broader family total likely does surpass the 1 million mark. But the exact count remains elusive. What is certain is that the Massey Ferguson 35 became a template for utility tractors, copied and adapted on 4 continents. The Massey Ferguson 35's success was not just about numbers. Its design, rooted in the Ferguson system, balanced simplicity with versatility. Operators could switch between plowing, planting, and transport jobs with minimal fuss, and the tractor's size made it equally at home on small mixed farms or in large cooperative operations. The worldwide strategy, diesel economy, and adaptability helped cement Massey Ferguson's reputation as a builder of practical, farmer-focused machines. For many, it was the first tractor that truly felt like it belonged to the world, not just to one country or climate. By the early 1960s, American farms were growing larger, and the demands on tractors had changed. Farmers needed more horsepower, better operator comfort, and machines that could handle longer hours with less fatigue. In 1963, John Deere introduced the 4020, a tractor that would quickly become a benchmark for modern power and usability. Over its 9-year production run, Deere sold approximately 184,000 units, making it the company's single best-selling tractor model. The 4020 was built around a 6-cylinder diesel engine, delivering about 95 PTO horsepower, a leap forward for row crop and general-purpose work. But raw power was not the only draw. Deere's engineering team, working with industrial designer Henry Dreyfuss, reimagined the operator's environment. The controls were grouped logically, the seat and steering wheel positioned for comfort, and the instrument panel was easy to read, even in long days and low light. For the first time, many farmers could spend 12 hours in the field without the bone-rattling fatigue that older machines caused. Transmission options gave the 4020 a versatility that matched its power. The synchro range gearbox allowed smooth shifting on the move, while the optional power shift transmission let operators change gears with a simple lever, no clutching required. These features made the 4020 just as effective for heavy tillage as it was for hauling loads or powering large implements. Hydraulic power was another area where the 4020 set a new standard. Its strong system supported loaders, planters, and balers, helping it become the workhorse of choice across the Corn Belt and beyond. The 4020's reputation for reliability is legendary. Many examples have logged over 15,000 hours with only routine maintenance, and some are still in daily use decades after leaving the factory. For a generation of farmers, owning a 4020 was a mark of progress, a machine that combined muscle, comfort, and durability in a way that set the pace for the industry. By the early 1980s, India's agricultural landscape was changing fast. Small and medium-sized farms, especially in the north, needed a tractor that could handle everything from plowing rice paddies to hauling heavy loads along dusty village roads. Mahindra and Mahindra, already experienced with building international harvester designs under license, saw an opening. The company launched the Mahindra 275Di, a 35-horsepower diesel tractor engineered specifically for the realities of Indian farming. At its core, the 275Di was about matching machine to the land. Most Indian farms operated on a few acres, so a compact, rugged tractor with just enough power to pull a 2 or 3 bottom plow made more sense than the high horsepower giants favored in the West. The 275Di's 3-cylinder diesel was designed for reliability and simplicity. It could run on lower-grade fuel and was easy to maintain with basic tools, a crucial advantage in rural areas, where parts and skilled mechanics were often in short supply. Government policy played a decisive role in the tractor's rise. Starting in the late 1960s, India's Green Revolution pushed for greater mechanization through subsidies, easy credit, and state-backed extension programs. By the 1980s, these policies had matured, and Mahindra was ready to scale up. Localized manufacturing kept costs down, and the company's growing dealer network ensured that even remote villages could access service and spares. For many farmers, the 275 DI was the first tractor they could realistically afford, often bought with a government-backed loan or as part of a cooperative purchase, which made the tractor truly affordable for millions. The 275 DI became a fixture in fields across Punjab, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh, powering threshers, water pumps, and trailers loaded with grain or sugarcane. Its straightforward mechanics meant that breakdowns rarely sidelined a farmer for long. Over time, Mahindra's dominance in the 30 to 40 horsepower segment helped the company become the world's largest tractor maker by volume. The 275 DI's legacy is not just in numbers sold, but in the way it fit the needs of millions of smallholders, making mechanized farming a reality for a new generation. Today, more than 800 million people still depend on small farms for survival. The tractors that once transformed fields continue to shape economies and food security across the globe. As technology races ahead, the real test remains. Can new machines earn the same trust these legends built? The future of farming depends not just on innovation, but on the reliability that millions came to count on. What tractor do you think stands above the rest?